Do you think she could actually beat a male like champion? Like seriously, like on some real shit. Like I know she tough, but you think she could beat any man champion?
My opinion is girls, boys is boys.
Right.
A girl is gonna be a girl. I don't think a girl can beat a man.
We talked yesterday to Claressa Shields. You know who Claressa is, right? Obviously. She said that she wants to fight men and then threw out names of guys she could beat. She said she could beat Keith Thurman, she could beat Shawn Porter, she could beat Triple G. When you hear Claressa say that, like, what's your reaction to that?
Pro boxers are officially calling out Claressa Shields' sparring footage as a fraud, claiming she's only beating soft amateurs to hunt a payday against Rolando Romero. Is the GWOAT truly that girl? Or is she underestimating the lethal gap between elite men and women?
Confident. She's confident in her ability and her skills, but that's pretty much what she's saying. I don't think she really want to get in the fight. In the ring with those fighters that she called out.
Here's the thing. You put Claressa Shields in the ring with a fighter at her weight class, at her same level, and she's going to be outmatched. There's a lot that goes into it. And it's one of those things that, things are easier said than done.
The boxing scene reacted quickly after Claressa Shields said she could defeat Rolando Romero. As a number of professionals pushed back, many fighters rejected the idea, pointing to the obvious difference in size and strength and openly questioning how realistic that kind of fight would actually be an animal that she's not really prepared for.
Listen, man, it's cute. It's cute that, she's made it to the point that she's made it to. That is remarkable. That is very, very respectful. I think every fighter in the world, whether you're a man, woman, whatever, you should respect the things that she's done.
Right.
Styles make fights. That's a common saying in boxing, and that's 100% true. But along with that, she has the thing that I don't think realizes is that, whatever top boxer she's been in the ring with, I'm sure that top boxer was, took his foot off the gas pedal. And any fighter that isn't at that level is really defending himself against her because he's not on her level.
Former champion Shawn Porter spoke highly of Claressa Shields, calling her one of the top female boxers. But he made it clear she wouldn't be able to compete with elite male fighters. He explained that the strength, speed, and power at the highest level of men's boxing are on a completely different level.
Dominant in the female boxing world that she need a man to fight, but I don't believe she would actually step foot in the ring with those guys. Man, I'm gonna tell you this, Claressa's been getting in the ring, sparring men since I've known her, so I feel like she'll get in the ring and give anybody a problem.
Right. Terence Crawford said that Claressa Shields might not actually be looking to fight the top male boxer she names, but instead sees it as a reflection of her confidence. He also pointed out that she has been sparring with men for years, which helps build that belief.
She has the audacity to say, I spar men. And she puts this video of her sparring some kids that look like they just walked into my boxing club. They look like the softest amateurs I've ever seen. And she hits this boy with an overhand right. She's in the corner. She hits him with the overhand right. Boom! He eats that thing like some Lucky Charm. He don't take one step back. He got hit square in his face. He don't take one.
No, and he ate it like some Lucky Charms, man. Didn't take one step back. Her homegirl filming the whole thing was like, great right hand, great right hand.
However, Keith Thurman disagreed with those claims, saying Claressa Shields is not dominating true male competition in sparring. He argued that she is mainly working with smaller, less experienced amateur fighters rather than world-class opponents.
I don't know what she has, you know. When I was an undefeated champion, she still said the same thing, okay? But it got no attention, okay? So all Claressa Shields did, however she feels about Thurman, however she feels about this men versus women battle of the sexes event that she wants to do for whatever reason, she picked one of the hottest boxing nights of the year. Women don't even do 3-minute rounds, bro.
I know.
They don't even do 3-minute rounds. Like, what do you, like, it's not even the same thing.
Shakur Stevenson recognized Claressa Shields' remarkable accomplishments, but he also believes she wouldn't be able to defeat male champions. He added that men's and women's boxing should stay separate, just like in other sports, because of obvious physical and competitive differences.
How y'all get in the mix with her?
I've known her since a kid too. Like, she's somebody who kind of supported me from day one, and I support her the same way. Claressa really if she was a boy, bro, I don't think a girl can beat a man. That's the same thing like you ask a basketball player.
Yeah.
Like, can a female basketball player beat a male basketball?
Yeah.
Come on, bro. A barn.
Cause Claressa be talking hot though.
Nah, she's like that
No,
though.
she like that, but she ain't.
If she was a boy, bro, that's why I was
What
trying
you
to
mean?
tell
If
you.
she was a boy.
If she was a boy, she'd be Floyd Mayweather. Hello.
I don't know.
If she
That's
was
already
a
no,
boy,
you can't do that.
she will be Floyd Mayweather. How can she not?
Despite facing criticism for boldly calling out male fighters, Shields is still widely regarded as one of the greatest female boxers of all time. She is a 2-time Olympic gold medalist and the only fighter, male or female, to become an undisputed world champion in 3 weight classes during the Four-Bell era. Shields has consistently excelled at the highest level, earning major awards and historic titles that have helped shape women's boxing. Floyd Mayweather Jr. has publicly praised Claressa Shields, calling her the best female boxer ever, highlighting her dominance and recognizing her warrior-like skills in the sport. He said she is a true champion who deserves recognition on par with the best in boxing, emphasizing her impact and achievements in a male-dominated sport.
Question, of all the fights that's happening this weekend, which one are you most excited about? Which one do you see what is the outcome of that fight?
Well, Claressa Shields. I'd like to say Claressa. She's from Michigan, like myself. She's a native of Michigan, like myself. 2-time gold medalist. We like to call her the female TBE in the sport of boxing. And it's gonna give her a chance to redeem her first loss. She only has 1 loss throughout her whole career, so I'm excited for it. And we work with the same trainer, Gerald Tucker. Gerald Tucker is from the Mayweather trilogy, the Mayweather school, so I'm looking forward to seeing Claressa Shields this week.
Atlas says Shields' greatness is unquestionable. She remains undefeated, has claimed world titles across multiple weight divisions, and is considered one of the most technically skilled fighters in women's boxing. However, one factor that could influence how her legacy is remembered is the absence of top-level opponents, often referred to as missing dance partners. In boxing history, true greatness is often highlighted by legendary rivalries, fighters who push each other to the limit and create defining moments.
Claressa Shields is gonna be taken away because she doesn't have the dance partner? It doesn't seem like there's anybody there, especially at the heavyweight division, for her to dance with.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's probably the most important point as far as her legacy. She's gonna have a great legacy as, if not the greatest of all time, one of the greatest of all time. Definitely gonna be in that conversation. She's gonna be in that group. She's gonna be in that group of 3 or 4 great women. But she don't have. She's got the titles. That's pretty special. She's got the divisions. See, that's where she separates herself. She's won in so many different weight categories, so many different weight divisions, where she's got that. And she's got the 0, of course, at the end of her record. So she's got all of that. She's technically so solid. John David Jackson should get credit. He does a hell of a job. That's what it's about. And Shields is a higher level than anybody right now in that, in any division. She keeps going up in divisions, and she keeps doing one thing, keeps winning and showing that she's the best one in any division that is within her reach, that she goes.
Despite her dominance, Shields hasn't consistently faced opponents of the same level, especially in the heavyweight division where competition is more limited. This makes many of her wins look one-sided, resulting in fewer dramatic, career-defining fights.
She's the full package. I got one problem with Claressa Shields. You want to know what it is?
What's that?
My problem with her is competition. There's no competition for her. It's not her fault, but I'm being very honest. I'm saying things I don't think other people are going to bring up. But my problem with saying, okay, Sunday night I got to mark down on my calendar, I'm watching Claressa. My problem with marking down on my calendar on a Sunday when I got some other things I could do, and making sure Saturday night, whatever, this one happened to be Sunday, whatever night it is, to mark down that I have to be there to watch her, I have a problem. Because I don't think I'm going to be, I love watching her, but I don't want to watch the shadow boxing. I don't want to sit down and spend an hour of my time watching somebody shadow box. I want to see them in a competitive fight. Am I wrong for saying that? Do I get slings and arrows thrown at me for saying that, for being honest? I think there's a lot of people that might say that. That's the only problem I have with her. There's no competition out there for her to really invite me to say, I gotta watch Claressa Shields. Now look, she's moved up and she's beaten some good women. That there was some good fights, some good competitive fights. But at this point, it's pretty barren. At this point, it's crickets. I don't hear nobody out there saying, oh yeah, I got somebody who could give a real competitive fight to Claressa. And until that happens, until I think that she can be, again, she's been in some, but that she can be in a competitive fight, I'm not marking it down on my calendar that I have to, as much as I love what she does.
Devin Haney explained that he understands why Claressa Shields might want to face Rolando Romero, highlighting Romero's awkward and unpredictable style as something that makes him a challenging opponent. He noted that Romero's unconventional approach can trouble fighters who have difficulty adapting, making him a unique presence in the ring. Haney added that this type of style is exactly what draws competitors, as it offers them a chance to test their abilities in a different way. Still, even with that appeal, a crossover fight remains highly unlikely.
Oh, the only thing... Why you want to fight him? Why you want to fight him first?
Rolly catches more strays on this show. It's on.
First of all, I love Rolly. He's a good dude, but when it comes to skill in boxing, he's not skilled.
Yeah, I agree.
That makes him awkward, right? When the punches don't come from where you think they're gonna come from, when he hits hard. Right? Like, there have been guys like that throughout. You brought up Mayorga, who are awkward. They shouldn't be good, but somehow they managed to win some of these fights.
Some of these guys don't be having no chins. Maybe that's the problem. And don't know how to tuck their chin either. Listen, I'm not saying I'll get in the ring and I'll knock Rolly out. I didn't say that. I'm 17-0 with 3 beautiful knockouts. I'm not the knockout puncher. I'm not Amanda Serrano. But what I will say is, with my boxing pedigree, with my height, my jab, my skills, I can beat Rolly in a boxing match. And that's just what it is.
Oh, you think you can beat Rolly actually in a fight?
Shields insists that it's wrong to assume she hasn't faced male opponents. She frequently mentions that she grew up training in a gym full of male fighters and has sparred with them for nearly her entire boxing career. In fact, her very first time in the ring as a young teen was against a boy she trained with, and she won decisively after only a few months of training, even though he had been boxing much longer. This early experience is why she believes she can take on big names and why her confidence in her abilities is so strong.
But by doing it, tell me about the first time you ever got in the ring.
The first time I ever sparred, I had been training for 2 months. It was against one of my close friends, Darian Lawson. I call him my cousin. And he had been boxing for 5 years compared to my 2 months. And he just picked on me every day for the first 2 months of training, saying like, girls don't need to be in the gym. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. I'm gonna beat you up when we spar. And when we sparred my first time sparring, I got hit in the nose and my eyes got watery. And then that's when I found out that I was a true savage because I kicked Darion's ass.
Poor Darion is watching this interview. You got your
Love you, D.
Claressa explains that her fighting approach was shaped early on by training in a tough, male-dominated gym. Sparring with boys who didn't hold back forced her to quickly develop resilience and adaptability. Rather than relying solely on physical strength, she learned to focus on strategy, timing, and precision, which allowed her to compete successfully even against stronger opponents. She also highlights how intense and physically demanding her early training was in an environment that constantly pushed her limits. This experience built her toughness and taught valuable lessons over time. As she grew, she realized that pushing to extremes wasn't always the best approach. So she shifted to a smarter, more efficient training mindset.
In the gym boxing against guys growing up, Mike. So the guys used to try to hurt me.
Yeah,
so I had to learn like
that's what
defense,
it is.
Offense, got to be smarter instead of being stronger. That's the kind of gym that I grew up in.
See, I didn't work smart when I was fighting. We worked hard. We break our knees. We break the bone in our body. Yes, in training. We want to outwork everybody. And we learned and later in life that it's about working smarter, not harder.
Mm-hmm. I learned that till I was about 20, though.
Yeah, you learn that you want to show the world, this is what I got. Just save a little for them. You know, don't give it all to them. Take it easy, slow, smart. All the time I fought, I was always in the hospital, hurt my leg, hurt my hands, fooling around, playing in the streets, getting street fights, got gashes.
I heard myself dancing at the club, something that had nothing related to boxing.
However, veteran analyst Teddy Atlas points out that, unlike legendary rivalries such as Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier, Claressa Shields doesn't yet have a defining opponent to cement her legacy. Great fighters are often remembered not only for their titles, but for iconic battles against equally skilled rivals. Comparisons are made to the Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano rivalry, which drew worldwide attention. Shields is still looking for that kind of high-profile matchup. Even discussions of a fight with Layla Ali have come up, but it seems unlikely, leaving a gap in an otherwise remarkable career story.
I thought her opponent, look, I like her opponent. She's a southpaw, she's big, she stepped up in weight, she's a heavyweight, she had reach advantage over Claressa, she had a size advantage over Claressa, all of that. But we know, if we really know this sport, it's not always about size, it's about skill. I mean, how many times in catchweight fights have we seen smaller people beat bigger people? And the size difference wasn't that much anyway here, but there was a little bit of a size difference. But I mean, look at Usyk. I mean, he beat a guy 60 pounds bigger than him, 40 pounds, 50, whatever it was. I mean, we've seen it through the history. It's about how you fight. It's about how together you are mentally and what kind of fighter you are.
If a fight were to happen between Claressa Shields and a male boxer like Rolando Romero, it would be an extremely rare moment in boxing history. A top-level female world champion entering the same competitive ring as a male professional. While mixed-gender bouts have occurred before in exhibitions or niche events, professional male versus female championship fights are almost unheard of and would draw massive attention and controversy. Most official boxing matches remain strictly separated by gender because of physical differences and organizational rules. A Shields versus Romero fight would truly be a historic first in the modern era of the sport.
The first time a female fighter fights a male fighter, I don't know, bro, that's cold.
Yeah, knock.
Because if he really whoop her ass,
but she calling him out.
I know, but like, I can see this backfiring. I wouldn't do it.
She gonna watch that nigga.
But what if she don't?
Like, they gonna make her
He
like...
might kill her if he knock her out.
If he beat the shit out of her,
then that's
this gonna backfire on him, bro. You shouldn't do it.
You beating up a girl.
Would you do it though?
For the chili, yeah.
You gotta box Heather. Celebrity match.
I'm gonna get in there and punch on her.
Many in the boxing world find it surprising how much attention Claressa Shields' claims about fighting male boxers have attracted. Instead of reflecting athletic reality, the controversy is largely driven by publicity and shouldn't be taken too seriously. Critics say that her name-dropping and bold statements generate headlines and buzz, not because a crossover fight is likely, but because it sparks debate and drives social media engagement. The hype surrounding these claims reveals more about media and fan reactions than the actual likelihood of such a matchup.
We're in a very funny world, man. It's just kind of funny, all the talk that it got, though. You know, I didn't really think that it would take off like that, but I think it's just the world that we're in today, with the battle of the sexes, with all the discrepancies of gender and like all this stuff going on in the world today. That's why I said, look, man, I live this life not just for myself, but really for the people.
Could Shields really go up against a male world champion, or is this just hype and confidence speaking? Share your thoughts in the comments. This video is for information and educational purposes only, aimed at keeping boxing fans updated and informed. All content is used under fair use guidelines for commentary, analysis, and discussion. We've enhanced this video to make it more unique and informative for our audience. An AI assistance was used to help organize and present the content clearly. Viewer discretion is advised. This is not professional advice or official boxing guidance.